What is going on, beautiful people? It's another week to submit your fantasy football lineups, and we are here to help, and that is exactly what we're going to do. If I'm a little bit more chipper today, it's because something positive towards my fantasy team has finally occurred, and that is that Jayden Daniels looks like he is going to be playing this week. He was not a limited participant in practice today, okay? He was a full participant in practice. And I can't tell you just the emotions, not even just as a Washington fan, but, as someone who owns Daniels, but as a Washington fan as well, to see him full participant, that's a godsend, honestly. Unfortunately, Terry McLaurin not going to play this week, but I'm so glad to have him back. And obviously, there's a lot of people coming back. Drake London looks like he's practicing in a limited fashion. I actually had a deal pretty much in place with Avery from Domain in the Flock League. We had a deal pretty much in place, but the deal was reliant on Terry McLaurin playing this week. And obviously, I mean, at this point, if I had to guess, I would say Terry's probably not playing until after the bye week. I don't know where you kind of sit on that, but
I just feel like he's not somebody you can trust anymore. At least not this year. I don't know when you're gonna be able to start him even after the bye week, where you're gonna be like, yeah, I feel comfortable starting Terry, unless you don't have any other option.
Yeah,
so it kind of just feels like a wash pick right now.
Yeah, because you Seattle this week, he's ruled out. Then Detroit, Miami before the bye. It just makes sense for a lingering injury for them to hold him back after the bye. So maybe week 13 is the earliest you get Terry. Been a terrible pick in fantasy football, but a lot of that has to do with injury. I mean, you saw how freaking good this guy is the last game against Kansas City, but unfortunately, injuries are going to injury, aren't they? Appreciate y'all for being here with us. We are going to do a giveaway if we reach 100 likes on today's stream. So all you need to do to enter to win some vouchers on the Flock site to get your questions answered is step 1, like the stream. Step 2, type week 9 into the YouTube chat. That is what we need to get going here. Appreciate you guys big time again for showing some love. Now, I did see a super chat at the beginning. Just so you guys know, what we'll do, Badaki, is we'll quickly answer this super chat from Alex, but any super chats beyond that, they will be answered after. Super chats will be answered after site questions, okay? This is something that we've always told y'all, and I just want to make sure we're all on the same page. But just quickly, so we don't lose Alex's question in the chat so we can't see it. He says, trade Gibbs for Javonte plus May, or Gibbs for Bucky plus Herbert, or Dowdle plus T-Mac for Herbert plus Travis Hunter, currently 4-4. Not really a fan of any of those trades, honestly. I'm not really a big fan of the Gibbs for Javonte May, Gibbs for Bucky Herbert. I don't really like any of those. Dowdle plus T-Mac for Herbert and Travis Hunter. I'm not a fan of any of them, honestly. Like, you have Flacco. I know this is going to sound absolutely insane, but I think Flacco is probably like a must start every single week until Joe Burrow is back. Like, genuinely. He actually has one of the best strength of schedules rest of the year. I was looking at this for a video this week. He is basically Joe Burrow. Stop looking at him as an old Joe Flacco. For fantasy football purposes, I mean, he is basically Joe Burrow at this point. Like, that's what he's giving you in fantasy football. And it's in a game versus the Jets, what was it? 3 touchdowns. Could have had more. There were some touchdowns on the ground, which is rare. He's targeting Jamar Chase, the best receiver in the NFL, like 20,000 times per week. If you have Joe Burrow, I don't think you need to, or Joe Flacco, I don't think you need to figure out an answer right now. I think you just ride him every single week until you can't, assuming he's healthy this week, right? So
gotta ride him every week. Yep.
Yeah, I'd rather just hold the players that you have, man. All right, let's jump into these site questions. Again, we will leave super chats open, but they'll be answered after site questions. Appreciate y'all for being here with us. Let's jump in. Jonathan here with the first start sit.
Yeah, Jackson Dart or Bo Nix. We're gonna go Jackson Dart, Warren, Kamani Vidal, Jamar Chase, Devontae Adams. I'm going to go Brock Bowers because Dallas Goedert is on a bye. And then your next best available is definitely Deebo Samuel, who I'm going to be starting there at your flex option over Rico. At least
with a healthy Jayden Daniels. I mean, I kind of think I have to agree with you there.
Yeah, I mean, there you go. Deebo.
It's either him or Dowdle, really, right? So it's got to be Deebo.
Yeah. No, that's good.
And by the way, this is the first week that the Commanders are gonna wear their Super Bowl era jerseys like these, which should be their permanent jerseys, by the way. Like this should be what they rock with every single week, in my opinion. Like, this should be it. But this week they're rocking with that on Sunday Night Football, so that'll be fun to see.
Come on.
Anyway, Daniel007 says drop Jamo for DK. You know, this sounds crazy. It's not a crazy question. It really isn't. I personally picked up DK off the waiver wire in the Flock League this week. I can show you guys. I was the highest bid. I spent $11 fab. Who was the second highest bid on that? Let me see.
I definitely put one in for him. I wanted DK, but I didn't have any fab.
Yes, so I got him for 11. The editor almost got him for 10. Honestly, that would have been the editor's best flex. He should have spent more money. Mason put a bid on him. Sammy put a bid on him. Look, I mean, the waiver wire is no guarantee. I think we've said that so many times. You're really buying a ticket to ride the train. You don't know where the train's going to take you when you're looking at the waiver wire. But here's what DK has in his advantage. He's a young rookie. We say this all the time, but rookies over the course of their season get more involved, get more consistent, especially if the team has plans for them. Secondly, there are multiple games now where he's been great for fantasy football, right? Week 7, 57% of the snaps, 16 fantasy points, almost 17 got into the end zone, and those were all career highs for him. You know, the snap percentage, the receptions, the receiving yards, getting into the end zone, the fantasy points. Then the week after that, and by the way, week 7 is the first week they had no Tyler Lockett when they released him. Week 7 onwards, I mean, it's like this guy's a feature in their offense, you know? And obviously, like, Calvin Ridley not being healthy, that's helpful. But at the same time, I feel like Calvin Ridley more impacts Alec A.O. Manor if he were to come back than a DK, because DK's playing in the slot, and you don't put Calvin Ridley in the slot. He's your outside receiver. So I honestly think DK should be rostered in the vast majority of leagues, which is why I talked about him in today's stash video. And for like a rookie quarterback, to have someone over the intermediate parts of the field to rely on, that's very helpful. I mean, Alec A.O. Manor is a big play guy, but you know, it's about a 50% catch rate when you're looking at a guy like that. So would you prefer DK or Jameson rest of the year? I think I still prefer Jameson, but I think DK needs to be rostered. Where do you stand here?
Yeah, look, when it comes down to who do I prefer specifically this week, I feel like it has to be DK. I think long-term Jameson still has that upside play, but one more week for DK, and it's basically exactly what you wanted Jameson, or at least you hope Jameson was going to be producing. So
here's the hard part with Jameson. He could come out, have 3 catches, 100 yards, and a touchdown. And then next week you're still like, I don't know.
I just don't think that's like reliable anymore. Like I know the big play is there, but like,
oh, that's what I'm saying.
If I can get a guy that's in the past 2 weeks, what's that, averaging 6 catches per game essentially, or 5 catches per game, and then has that ability, that's most likely always going to be playing down. That's technically on a bad offense. You might as well just get DK. So actually, I want DK. That's what I want.
Okay. Sorry, Sammy Stacks just messaged me. Drop Jamo for DK. I honestly, like, what I would try before I do this, Daniel, is I would try to package Jameson with another name for like a slight upgrade, even if it's small. So for example, if I look at my rest of season rankings, let's say I package a Kyron Williams with a Jameson to get a Saquon or a James Cook, you know, or we look at like even a smaller version of that, Jameson and a J.K. Dobbins. Can I go get a Jaylen Warren? Yeah, I guess like I would do something like that. Or packaging like Jameson and a Jalen Waddle to go get names like Chris Olave. Do you know what I mean? Like I would try the smallest package first and see if I can get that done. Quest is here, sending away Derek and DJ, as well as Sutton for CD, Addison, and Kelsey. CD's the best player in this deal. Sutton and Addison, I prefer Sutton, but it's close.
Yeah.
And then Kelsey and DJ more, I don't really care. So I'm pretty happy to take the CD Lamb side of this, honestly.
Yeah, I want the CD Lamb side.
Especially if you're comfortable at running back. I don't know if you've linked your team, but You know, we don't actually know if the trade's gone through or not. But if you're comfy with your running backs, here's the problem. If this is actually his team and his running backs would be Kamara and Gainwell, then you probably can't make this move.
Yeah.
To be honest,
I would agree.
so
I want to keep. I want.
You know what?
CD,
If you can make this move and then tier down from CD to get a wide receiver and a running back that you love, maybe that's the best move. But you're kind of in a terrible spot there if that's your running back room. Be careful. Friday Q&A. Is it Friday today? No, it's Thursday here, but we're gonna answer it. He says, favorite thing about Australia. If you guys don't know, Badaki and I are both Americans born and raised, but we live in Sydney, Australia. My favorite thing about Australia. Well, do you have something that comes to the top of your mind there?
Yeah, the beaches.
Beaches.
At least that's for me. I live 5 minutes away from the beach, and I love it. We go there pretty much every other day.
Yeah.
When the weather is great. So
honestly, man, like the beaches in Australia kind of ruin you because I mean this like with all due respect. Like my wife and I went to Hawaii 2 years ago, and first off, like the tourist part of Hawaii, those beaches are actually kind of gross. Like Honolulu. But if you go to like the other parts of the island, very beautiful beaches. But I'm saying that because I feel like Australia like ruins your perception on like beaches because you go other places and you're like, damn, why'd I spend all this money to go to a place that the beaches are just as good as Australia, you know, if not worse in some areas. So that's a pretty fair answer. My favorite thing about Australia,
as you're thinking,
I think it's just the people.
Right. Okay. Like people, like Australians.
Yeah, I for the most part like the people. I think they're more approachable for the most part, but I think selfishly for my life, our schedule is what I like. I like being able to stream in the morning and it's your guys' nighttime, versus if I lived in America, I'd have to stream at night every night. Anyway.
Yeah. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Ybass 49ers says, should I trade Lamar for Pickens and or Zay? Any tips? I mean, depending, one quarterback, 18 starts 7.
He's got Lamar and Mahomes. Start Lamar this week if you had to choose, but you should definitely use Lamar in a trade here. I think you need to upgrade your running back room. But his wide receivers, you could upgrade either, honestly. This week, I feel like Pittman's a guy you got to put in there. And Olave. Yep. Pittman and Olave, I feel like must start.
And Olave, yeah.
And then you're probably flexing. Honestly, I think I'm starting Swift at RB2. And then in his flex, it's either Genty or McMillan.
I think I'm going to go Genty there for me.
Yeah, like I would love if I was in your position to package Lamar and Pittman or Lamar and Olave or Lamar and McMillan and go get an elite wide receiver, like one of those top names. You could do that at running back too if you package like a Genty and a Lamar and see if you can go get a Jahmyr Gibbs or something, you know, because you can definitely afford to lose one of those guys with Pat Mahomes on your team.
Yeah, like that deal. All right, next question here. IYE. Lamar Jackson, you starting over Flacco and Dart, at least for me.
Yep, of course.
Bijan, Javonte, you have a Monrod there. I'm going to be starting. Yeah, wow. All these guys should be started. Rome, Drake, Nico. I think all these guys are in the same tier for me.
Rome's dealing with a little bit of a heel injury, and selfishly in the Flock League, I'm facing him, and I hope that he just, takes care of his health. London, I'd probably lean London here. If I had to choose one,
I think I'm going to go Rome because I think the flex option might answer that question. Tyler Warren at the tight end position, I think for me.
Okay, hold on, just quickly. You got to put Derrick Henry in your RB2 spot because of Thursday night. But at the flex, it's probably Javonte. I'm going Vidal, I think, over one of the receivers. Warren at tight end.
So it will be Derek, and then at the flex it will be London. But yeah, No, I would be going London. I guess Vidal has a really good matchup.
And
This is crazy. This is
Titans.
eight team league. That's
Yeah.
why. Okay. Yeah,
If
look, we're not gonna get this question right, unfortunately. But
No, like between London and Adunze, I think it's impossible to say. I lean London, but that's because Adunze's hurt. If there's no limitations at all with his heal, then I'm fine to say Adunze's got more inbuilt trust there. So it's a great team.
yeah, can understand that. All right, next one here. Jake Ferguson for T. Higgins. One quarterback, 10 team start, 7. Now, who's the other tight end that you have on your team here? I'm okay with this. You have George Kittle and Gadsden. I'm okay to get T. Higgins.
But surely you can get a better name, right? I mean, is Higgins the best name you can get? No disrespect, but I mean, are you sure that you couldn't just flex Jake and have the same result as T? Like, at least
Sure.
Jake in a trade, like you give someone the upgrade at tight end that they can rely on each and every week. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like, oh, yeah. This is fine, but I don't know. Like, I'd much rather have like an Addison if you can do that. If not Addison, he has Marvin. I'd rather go there. I know Marvin's not been great so far, but he faces Dallas this week. Devonta Smith, I'd rather go. I mean, I'd even rather try and get a Jefferson if I can send you Jake Ferguson and Stephon Diggs, for example. You know, I mean, these are the type of deals I would try first before accepting.
Yeah, I'm okay with stuff like that.
Hi, league has passing yards at 0.1 per yard. Wow, 0.1 per yard. So 10 yards is 1 point. That's insane.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That means 300 passing yards is...
Like
300 passing yards is 30 points, right? Or am I not thinking this through right?
I said 300. Yeah, I think you are right. It's 30
No.
points.
Am I right, guys?
Am I adding too many zeros?
Or not enough, yeah.
Or not enough? I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's 30 points. That's way... I mean, quarterbacks are way overpowered in this. Okay.
I said, don't know what to do at flex with both tight ends looking great. Well, if that's the case, surely Matthew Stafford is the play here.
Ooh.
Over when it comes down to passing it.
You might be right. Yeah. No, I think you're right.
Just so you know, Matthew Stafford, 1,800 passing yards so far. Jackson Dart has 984. Now this, yeah.
I agree with you. At tight end, I'm going to go Gadsden. I think it was so obvious that they wanted Kelsey to succeed on National Tight End Day. I mean, I don't know about you, but it felt so obvious that it's like, yeah, let's get Kelsey some momentum. At the flex spot, bye. I think this is Bam Knight for me against the Cowboys.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. All right, appreciate you.
Dynasty
Jake.
question here.
Yeah, Jake sending away Caleb, Woody, Tajay, and Justin. Getting a lot here. Jameson, Lamar, a 26 first, a second, and a third. Let's take that third out. Take Tajay and the third out, at least for me. So
they don't hold much weight, is what he's not saying. Like counter the deal. He's just saying like we're trying to really get a sense of value here.
So Lamar and Caleb are. I'd rather have Lamar over Caleb. Woody.
I think Woody and Jameson are close.
Jameson are close, and then Jefferson for a first and a second. Or maybe what we should be seeing it as is Jefferson and Lamar are technically even, and then Caleb for a first and a second.
Yeah, I think this is pretty fair.
Yeah, I think
let's get some of our Dynasty guys their opinion, like Styles and some of these other guys who play Dynasty. This seems pretty fair to me.
I would think so as well. I think this is just because it's not of the downfall of talent, but I think it's a downfall of lack of consistency that I just think Justin Jefferson is going to have with JJ.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, we haven't really had a chance to see JJ like multiple games, so I don't really think that's a rule yet. But it's a concerning trend, I would say. It's a super flex league.
Start 9. I just don't love Jameson. I feel like I would just rather not have Jameson
Yeah.
and get somebody out. Take Jameson out and get somebody else.
So let's actually create a counter then. So let's just I don't
Would
want
you
to.
rather have Zay Flowers than Jameson?
Yes.
Yeah, I feel
Honestly,
like Zay
and then you get
Flowers
that
is better.
stack anyway.
Yeah, I'd rather have Zay Flowers side.
Yeah, I don't know if he'd be willing to do that then. But honestly, if he gives you Zay Flower instead of Jameson, you can remove that third. That's a much better counter.
I would rather have T. Higgins as well over Jameson.
Yeah. So I think that's pretty fair value. Creamy Baby. Wow. Awesome username. Dart Genty at I guess maybe they don't have to start a second running back. At wide receiver,
Debo.
Debo. Ayuk is on bye, or Egbuka's on bye. At flex, Kareem Hunt. I'm pretty sure Pacheco's not going to play this week. Did we get a confirmation on that?
No, he just didn't practice.
Yeah,
so
he's not gonna play.
I don't think he's gonna play.
Kareem Hunt there, and your other flex, it would be
Maybe Charbonnet, I think, for me.
yeah, probably Charbonnet. Tough one
Yeah.
this week, man. But like honestly, Kareem Hunt's a big lifesaver for you, I'd say potentially this week.
Yeah.
Bye week, sending away Judkins for Nico. I'm pretty split on these guys. I think they're pretty much even, but I think it's hard to find a running back. That's why I probably lean Judkins.
Yeah, I mean he has Gibbs, Saquon, Judd. Yeah, I'm okay with it.
I would prefer to keep Judkins just because it's hard to get a receiver, but I think it's relatively fair value. That's just my preference there. If you are going to go through the deal, try and make it a 2-for-2 where you get like a Woody Marks as well, and you send back something small like a Tajay or a Tank Bigsby or something. Ontario Lions is sending away Etienne and Diggs for Nico. Look, I'm all aboard buying Nico Collins, but everything that in my opinion, every time someone's talked about Nico Collins, it's been so negative. I just feel like he's probably cheaper than this is what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, which makes sense. I'm happy with the Nico Collins side, but I get that.
Yeah, like maybe you can make this a 2-for-2 where you get back a. Let's see, who's your tight end? Yeah, you're fine at tight end. I just wonder if we can. Would you move like? Maybe ask for an Egbuka and you send a Debo or something or a Keenan. Maybe that helps the trade look a little bit better.
Yeah,
It's close,
that makes
though.
sense. I'm okay with that. Pierce, sending away Zonovan Knight and Rashad White for Ramondre Stevenson. I'm okay with this as well. 1 quarterback, 10-team start. I think Stevenson. Look, I know he didn't practice this week, but he's technically the starting running back. Rashad and Zonovan Knight are both backups at the moment until their respective RB1 comes back. And I think Stevenson, they still trust him, but he just didn't practice, I think, today, if I'm not mistaken, with a toe injury. So that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah, sorry. I'm just realizing that they released the video with Mason's trade. Or with Nathan's trade.
Nathan's trade.
That trade is kind of crazy, I'm not going to lie. You know what's crazy, though, is like I had that same type of trade lined up before I sold Puka, and I was going to do it with Nathan, but he didn't want to do it because Puka wasn't healthy yet. So, like, I was going to do the same thing that Danny did. I was, like, prepared to take that type of trade. But, I mean, Danny's killed it, honestly. Like, the last couple of weeks, he's positioned himself to be one of the better teams in the league. Anyway. Yeah, I think I'm indifferent on this. Rashad, like, Bam is these are two temporary names, like Knight and White. But if Stevenson is injured and not playing this week, you don't do this deal. So I think you need to wait to see practice reports on Stevenson. Tango Bravo says, do you like Drake or Garrett more rest of season?
Do I like Drake or
I
Garrett
prefer
rest of season?
Drake rest of season still.
Yeah, I would agree.
No
It's
serious
just-
injury that he's working through.
Yeah, I agree. Completely
So
agree.
Keep Drake side of that.
Sam,
Sam, yep.
sending Mason for Wandell
It's a
This is
dynasty.
Dynasty.
I like the Wandale side of that.
Yeah, I want Wandale side as well in
Yeah.
Dynasty. A Rose says, I'm also giving up the Chargers defense. So you're sending away Derrick Henry and the Chargers defense for Etienne, Benson, and RJ Harvey. 12 teams start 8.
I don't know. I mean, look, I like Benson a lot, but I don't really think this makes much sense, to be honest, unless you just... Who's your...
He has Derrick Henry, Tony Pollard. Now,
Right.
you're not going to be getting you have Travis Etienne, but Benson's not coming back.
Not for
until
at least week 10, if not longer.
Yeah, I don't know. RJ
Wait,
Harvey
hold on,
just had
sorry.
a good game.
He actually has to, because they have their bye week, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no. Week 10 would be the earliest, but we don't know for certain if he will be back yet.
Yeah. So, and I understand why you want to do this trade because it helps you with depth, but like this is not going to help you win this week. And I know
No.
RJ Harvey had a good game.
Yeah. He still the
yeah.
snap share still didn't change.
Exactly. So
I'm gonna keep Derek here. Pretty
I agree.
Easily.
Jay
Bala sending away Kamara and JSN for Egbuka, Tyrone, Kyron. Kamara's hard to trade right now.
I'm okay with this trade actually.
Here's what I will say about Alvin Kamara. If you look at the rest of season schedule, and like you tell me if this is Cope, guys, because I have him in the Flock League, so it could totally be Cope. But if you look at the rest of season schedule, after this game against the Rams, there's not a single game that you look at as a negative game script or a negative matchup where you're like, damn. I mean, for example, he has Carolina in week 10, Miami, Tampa Bay, Carolina, again, the Jets, the Tennessee Titans. There's a lot of great matchups upcoming, but obviously he's not being used the same. But could the new starter Tyler Shuck be more interested in checking it down to him? I don't know. But
yeah,
you are sending JSN away, who's a league winner, for Kyron, who you can start, Egbuka, who you can start, and Tyrone, who you can start. So
I completely agree. I would take the Kyron and Mika Tyrone side. Nola, Troy Franklin and Jake Ferguson for Woody Marks and Gadsden there.
I'll take Gadsden by a million miles with the Woody Marks side of this.
Yeah, I agree. Troy Franklin, another, just like RJ Harvey, had a good game, but it's not sustainable. I don't think.
You expect the wide receiver 2s and 3s to go off against the Cowboys, so.
Yeah, exactly. You're what hurts. It says I'm 4-4. Brock back, can't sit Kraft. No one wants to trade in my league. Flex Brock, too many wide receiver options. So Drake, Tyrone Jacobs, Chase, Devonta, who is on a bye, so you need to figure that out. Yeah, wow, George Pickens, Tech, Keenan. I think we had this Keenan and Tech conversation. I think I said I'd rather have Keenan, but the George Pickens side of that,
George,
yeah, I would rather start George.
Look,
Tight end.
I'm gonna go Kraft here. I want Bowers to be back in full strength, and that's what they say. But at the same time, how can you sit Kraft right now? You know, with the way that he's operating, I just don't see how you can.
Yeah, I think in an 8-man league, you go for upside here. You're what hurts. I mean, what's the upside? Is Stephon Diggs,
No.
Woody, Ted? I guess Bowers technically is the upside, so you start both tight ends.
Nah, Pickens though. I mean,
Oh, well, we're starting Pickens in the wide receiver 2 spot.
oh, okay. So you're saying Devonta Smith, but
Well, Devonta Smith
right,
is on a
he's
bye.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, is it Keenan Allen the upside against the Titans? I feel like that's just going to be them running the ball on the ground.
It's honestly Bowers or McMillan. McMillan faces the Packers. Yeah.
I'm just gonna go Bowers. I think he's gonna come back healthy. I'm gonna hope for that, but that's a tough one.
If Andy Dalton starts, it's McMillan. If Bryce Young starts, it's Bowers. That's a tough one. But yeah,
I think Bryce is gonna start. But
I would keep looking. I think so too. I would keep looking for trade options with those tight ends. Too many good options there. Jakub says really stuck on who to start at tight end this week. Good looking lineup. I would go Gadsden.
Yeah, you start Gadsden there, and then you start Kamani.
Yes. Kamani's got to be in that lineup versus the Titans.
Yeah, I completely agree there. Sandro says, trade just accepted that gives me McBride for Dowdle/Worthy. If process trade would be in the tight end position.
That's an unreal deal for you. Congratulations.
Yeah, unreal. So Allen, Achane, Chase Brown, Rome at the wide receiver position is going to be Devontae Adams. You have Trey McBride there. And then for me, this will be Warren.
Yes, I agree. Yep.
Okay, we're on the same page there. Neesmith, how you doing, brother?
Sending
Away
Amon
Amon
Ra.
Ra Sam.
Wow.
Yeah, for
Holy hell. Why wouldn't you accept this?
Bucky, Kamani, Drake. Yeah, I mean that's kind of crazy.
I don't know why I wouldn't accept that.
Saquon, Woody, Chase Brown is his running backs, but he's gonna get to start 8. I mean, does this really make his team? I guess it makes his team better. Yeah, because he will have Saquon, Bucky.
Yep.
He would have Saquon.
And then
Bucky.
what you can do after this is you can package the Harveys, the Chases, the JCMs.
Yeah.
Maybe not JCM yet. You need to wait on him, but you can package them with Devontae Adams, get a big upgrade, or Brian Thomas, get a big upgrade. So yeah, I mean that's a pretty generous offer, even though Amon Ra's great.
Yeah, I completely agree.
By the way, we haven't really said this much on today's stream, but we are doing a giveaway. If we reach our like goal, which is 100 likes, if you want to be entered into that giveaway, all you have to do is like the stream and type week 9 into the chat, all one word.
Week 9.
To all the people who are submitting super chats on YouTube, we will get to them. We'll just have to get to them after we answer all the site questions. So just want to keep that in mind. Let's jump to the next one here on the site. LOS.
Yes. LOS here is Daniel Jones, Josh Jacobs at the running back position. Donovan Knight. Yeah. Lad Puka, tight end position is going to be I guess Mark Andrews.
I guess, yeah. That's not fun.
I guess Mark Andrews. At the flex option, I see Josh Downs didn't practice again. I wonder if he's going to practice.
Did he not?
No.
I probably would go Rico here and Shakir.
Yeah, I'm there with you. Rico playing the Packers.
It's not a great matchup, but I just believe that they're going to make him their starter.
Yeah, I would agree. Abel.
Honestly, Rico's tough because I want to go buy him in leagues, but then you look at his rest of season schedule and you're like, which of these games are the Panthers not severely down in? And I don't know how many games that actually is.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I agree. Abel here is sending, if not Jay Jettas, can I swap Mbuka harder to do? So you're sending away Waddle and Justin Jefferson or Mbuka to receive Gibbs and Roma Dunze.
I don't care what the name is. I'm doing the trade. I don't care if it's Jefferson or Ibuka. I'm doing this trade to get Gibbs. So whatever it ends up needing to be, I don't care what the names are. You get Gibbs and a Dunze pretty easily there.
Completely agree. Legend.
Mm-hmm.
An absolute legend. Jahmyr Gibbs, you're sending away for Etienne Pickens and McBride. 8-team start 7.
Don't love it in an 8-team to get rid of Jahmyr Gibbs, I'll be honest.
Your running back would be Brees.
You already have Kittle and Ferguson. I don't understand what the benefit is.
Yeah, what was the point of Trey?
Unless you've already made the trade, Legend, and this is what your team looks like now.
That was easy.
And if that's the case, then I like it, but if this is what your team looks like right now, like your team 3 and the trade hasn't gone through or something, then I just don't see a reason to make that trade, honestly. I already have great tight ends.
Okay. Charlie, are you refreshing yet? Charlie, it should be next here. Appreciate you, Charlie. We'll wait. It's a Dynasty, 2 quarterback, 12 teams, start 8.
We're good to go on Charlie.
All right. Sending away Tyrone Tracy, Justin Fields, Tyrod Taylor, and a first for Jackson Dart and Chris Olave.
Okay. Do you think Justin Fields is a starter in the NFL long term?
No.
Do you think Tyrone Tracy is a starter long term for a team?
50-50?
I do not. So I'm really thinking in Dynasty, I'm sending, obviously this isn't really what you're sending, but the way I'm thinking this through is you're sending a first for Dart and Olave. I think this is a huge deal for whoever gets the Dart side.
Yeah, I want Dart, exactly.
I think it's a massive steal, honestly. And Tyrone's going to be valuable rest of the year, but you're going to have this entire offseason where no one knows how to value Tyrone Tracy because of Cam Scadaboo's injury, you know?
Yeah, I completely agree. Super Strategy says, recommendations do you have so I can upgrade my team? Well,
Let's have a look at the starting lineup.
what have
I can't even fill his lineup because we don't have much information here. One,
Yeah,
two,
that's
three, 4,
unfortunate.
5, 6. There's only 6 players that have been submitted. So I'm going to have to give you a free start sit voucher. And what I'm going to need you to do, my friend, is come back and give us some more information. You've only given us 6 players to start in your lineup. Best thing for you to do is go to the My Teams feature first and then link your team, whether that's with Sleeper, ESPN, or Yahoo. If you don't have those, you can do it manually in the start sit, but you got to give us more information. If you're able to link your team, it makes it a lot easier. It links your settings. And then when you go to a player, let's say I know I'm starting Jayden Daniels this week, that locks in my team, and then go position by position and tells who you're considering every single week. For every single position rather. So that's when we can actually help you there. We just don't have enough information. So gave you a free voucher to come back.
Appreciate you. Favorable. It says Bucks and Broncos schedule are tough. I need to win right now. So you're sending away Bucky, Cortland, and Mika, who are both on bye. Keep in mind, and you're getting Warren, Rome, and Nico in return. And you need to win. If you're week to week, I understand it. I feel like you should be getting something.
I just don't like it, honestly.
I just don't like the down tier for Warren. I feel like Rome.
To me, Sutton and Nico's a wash. I prefer.
Yeah.
I don't care. Egbuka and Rome's a wash, and then it's just like
Bucky
and
to
Jaylen.
That's.
We obviously don't know for certain if Bucky's back after the bye, so that's obviously difficult as well.
Yeah, I understand what you're trying to do because you're probably in a for me, I'm week to week. You're a week to week basis. You're trying to win right now, and Bucky and Mika not being on your team is gonna hurt you in a bye week. So, but it's just not the right.
I understand why you would have to do okay. So if he's like 2 and 6, are you telling him not to do this? That'd be hard not to do it at 2 and 6.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm getting at. Like, it'll be difficult not to do this, knowing that you have to win. But like at the same time, you're making somebody else's team significantly stronger, depending on who that is. So I think it just depends on like what's at stake. I know it sounds crazy, but there's nothing at stake here. Then you might as well just keep Bucky and Cortland. But like if there's like $1,500 on the line, and like there's still a chance for you to win, you might as well go all out type of situation. And this is the problem that I have in the Flock League. Like everyone wants to trade me people that I'm bye week, but like I'm not trying to be at Denny's. So I'm week to week trying to win, and I can't have these guys that are questionable or that are on bye weeks or whatever the case may be. I need absolutes. And right now, what you're getting technically is absolutes that are going to play.
Yeah. I think this is a 1-week trade. That's the problem. And I get it if you just need to win, but you're going to regret this trade next week, I'm pretty sure. But if you just need to win, I get why you would do it, honestly. Pikachu is starting Stafford. And at running back, I guess you got to go Kamara. You don't have another option. At flex, this would be a Dunze and Worthy.
Tucker Kraft. No, Tucker Kraft.
Kraft? Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Appreciate you, Pikachu. Bob. Need a win this week. Need an absolute win. I'm gonna go Dak Prescott against the Cardinals. Personally, at the tight end position, Gadsden, and at the flex spot, it's between. I mean, for me, this is booty.
Yeah, if Ramondre doesn't play, I'd put Henderson in.
Yes, sure. I mean, that's a good point. I'm not starting. I don't. Is Calvin? What's Calvin? I'm not. I mean, you're not starting Calvin even if he plays. Yeah. So that doesn't really matter. And TJ, you can't really start. Dalton, you can't really start. So for me, this is going to be Kayshawn. But yes, Henderson. Yeah. If Stevenson doesn't play. Jay Fantasy says league mates don't value some players the right way. I think this is a good move to send or pivot. So you're sending away Devonta Smith in a first to get Pickens, Benson in a second.
Not a huge fan of it. I mean, I do love me some Trey Benson, but he also hasn't proven anything in the league just yet. I was a huge Trey Benson guy coming out of Florida State. But to me, Pickens and Smith is close. I prefer Pickens. The issue really comes down to sending a first for Benson in a second. I think that person who's trying to re-roll on the first is probably happy to do that with Benson. So I'm not in love with this, honestly. Maybe, yeah. I'm not really sure what the counter is, honestly. I just don't think I like this deal. I think the counter is like you send a second instead of a first, and you keep Benson and Pickens in it. So like it's Smith in a second. That might be, maybe you send a second and a third for Pickens and Benson. That would be my counter. I'm not in love with the idea of sending the first, personally. Benson
I would agree.
He would need to dominate to be worth that.
Not in love with it either.
And I love him so much. Hood Pope says, make this more fair. This might get vetoed. You're sending away Warren and Pittman for Cook. I don't think that's crazy, but I mean, Pittman's been
If I'm
great.
not mistaken, Pittman is a top like
6, wide receiver 6.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're getting a top wide receiver. I mean,
I don't really view him that way rest of the year, but that's what he's been. It's a lot of touchdowns that have really catapulted his value.
Yeah.
I don't think this is unfair though. Like I don't think, obviously we prefer James Cook because that's just the nature of like how we do trades, but
yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of what's going to be fair. I mean, you can just do like you can just send like a.
What about like a Travis Hunter swap with Devonta? I don't know. Like that's maybe more fair, but I don't think the initial trade is too crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree there.
Titty
or Titi?
For me in my house, it's Titty.
Yeah. Titi. 27 early first, not mine for Breeze. Good team.
I want the first round pick.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Most people in any Dynasty League we're in are not getting a first round pick for Breece Hall right now. So I don't think that's his price point at this point without knowing his future. Or I mean, what happens if no one does trade for him and then he doesn't? Surely Breece gets a contract from someone, right? Like surely we would anticipate that, but it's hard to project.
I mean, that's the risk you take. I would say
you don't even need him, honestly. Like look at this running back room. You don't even need Breece. I don't think you should spend your first this way.
Look, it's definitely fun. I would say like if you do, this is what I would say. If you believe Breece Hall's value, wherever he goes, that's not the Jets after this year, it's going to be higher, then you can do this. But I would agree with Zach still. Like the first is just feels safer right now. That can be.
Yeah, I don't think you need to do this. If anything, you should package like a first with Worthy and go get an elite receiver. You're much weaker at receiver than running back. I'm not a fan of this.
That's not his team. I don't know if that's the right team, but maybe looking at the wrong team.
It might be the wrong team. The point still stands though.
It says he needs running back.
Okay, what's your team name?
What's the other team? Is it the first team? Do you see it? I think. Let's see. Well, yeah. Which one is his team? Quinshawn CMC. Yeah, I have no idea. Maybe the site messed it up. What's your team name? We can have a look at that while you're here with us. If not, it's a second. Is your team name Diggs? Is that the one that you're talking about? Just give us your team name, unless it's inappropriate. Obviously, you probably can't say it. I'm assuming the second overall. So you have Genty, Hampton, Bucky. So you need a running back for this week. You're saying because you're going to start Genty, but you can start Genty and Warren. I don't see what's the problem there. I think still sending Genty and having Genty, Warren, Hampton, Irving is fine, at least enough until those guys come back. So. Like, I'm indifferent. I'm happy to keep the first, and I'm happy to get Breece Hall just because I do believe he's not going to be on the Jets at the end of this year, and he can go to the Commanders. He can go to the Chiefs next year. He can go to the Saints if he wanted to. There's so many teams that he's going to be able to go to. Now, obviously, worst case scenario, if he goes to a team like, it feels like the Titans, or a team that he's going to be sitting behind, right? I mean, hell, if he goes to the Patriots, that will suck for Travion.
It's
so
so
yeah.
weird that the Patriots are in the market for a running back.
That just makes me believe like if they're in the market for a running back right now, they don't trust Travion, and they're not going to trust Travion later
I
on.
hate the Patriots. Oh, I hate them.
But yeah, look, I see your thought process, and I think you can. I'm happy either way. I think it's a fair trade because I do believe he's going to be on a different team. Dana.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it personally. I wouldn't trade a first for Brees. Go ahead.
He says thinking I need an upgrade at running back and they need flex. Should I look at other trades or just hold my running back? So you're sending away Mason, Judkins, and Brian Thomas for Jahmyr Gibbs. I am okay with this trade.
Who's his wide receivers?
He has Rice, Waddle, Marvin, Jameson.
Rice, Waddle.
I think that's enough because he would have Quinshawn, Walker, and Jahmyr Gibbs.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I'm fine with this as well. Daniel 007 says, would you trade Bijan and BTJ for Bucky and Rice? I think I would.
I think I would too.
Yeah, I want Bucky and Rice.
That's if Bucky's coming back after the bye.
Yeah.
If I knew that, then the answer is yes. But if I don't know that, hard to say for sure. Woody says, I'm 4-4. Feel like I need to make a move for running back. Sending away Woody Marks, Zay Flowers for Derrick Henry. I'm indifferent on this. I love Woody Marks. And shout out to all the haters. They're quiet now. But he's been great. He's been reliable, but he's your RB4 right now. You have Benson coming back. I have no problem consolidating the roster a little bit.
Yeah. Snag. I'm sending Keenan and Terry for Cortland Sutton. I'm okay getting Cortland Sutton. I said it earlier. Even after the bye week, I just don't see Terry as somebody that, me personally, that I'm going to say, yeah, you guys should be starting him over these other names. Like, I just don't know if there's going to be confidence in week 13 if he does come back, if we're going to be starting him then.
RB 11 right, or wide receiver 11 right now, but averaging less points than he did last year. Sutton's getting more, or Franklin's getting more involved. My problem is more the rest of season schedule for Cortland Sutton. Especially like in the playoffs. It's Green Bay, Jacksonville, Kansas City. I'm not obsessed with that. He has Kansas City again in week 11 before Houston this week. Any player can overcome any matchup, but it's not a good matchup this week even. I would probably prefer a different name if I'm going to do a package like this. Yeah. Sutton, I would prefer a Ladd, a Nico, a Pickens. Yeah. Garrett, if you can wait on him. Rome, London, Egbuka, Adams. But I think it's a fine trade. I'm not in love with his rest of season schedule.
Yeah.
K's on for president, starting Trevor Lawrence at running back. Marks and who the hell do you start between Kamara and Walker, man? I don't fucking know.
I currently have, I'll tell you who I have over him. Actually, they're actually back to back. Kenneth Walker's one spot ahead of Alvin Kamara. I don't know why.
Yeah, I was going to ask you why.
There's no rhyme or reason for it. I just think they're both in that same tier of guys that I'm not in love with this week. You know, they're with like the Walkers, Kamara, the JCMs, at least in my eyes, the Aaron Jones, the Zach Charbonnets. I just like don't love starting any of these people, but like you're gonna have to and pick one.
I guess Walker's against Washington, better matchup. That's where you'll lean. At wide receiver, it's gonna be Chase and Sutton this week, even though it's a bad matchup. At tight end, Fannon's on bye, And
Yeah,
at
so it's
flex,
gonna be 11.
you're going to start Kamara anyway, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
That's tough, man.
Jay Suggs. The wide receiver 2 position, I am going to go. Yeah, wow, a lot of good players here. I'm going to go Cortland Sutton still. I think we're going to start Nico on that flex anyway, maybe. We'll see.
Okay. It will be Waddle for me against the Ravens. He also plays on Thursday Night Football. But he's a clear number one. It's a great matchup for him. He should smash. It doesn't mean he will, but I've got him as my wide receiver 13 this week, so I'm very high on Jalen Waddle. And then in the flex for me, I would probably be leaning more Nico than Sutton.
Yeah, I would go Nico. So for me, it would be Sutton and Nico, and for Zach, it would be Waddle and Nico.
Okay, yeah.
Dog is next. His quarterback is going to be Jackson Dart for me.
Yep.
Zonovan I, James Rice, Amon-Ra, Warren, Troy Franklin, and at our flex spot, I guess is Brashard Smith if Isaiah Pacheco doesn't play. Ricky Pearsall doesn't look like he's going to play at all this season. Should have just put him on season-ending injury.
Yeah, I mean, if Pearsall somehow comes
feels
back, it's Pearsall. Otherwise, it's Smith, assuming Pacheco's out.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Tough
right
one.
now.
Christopher is sending away Brian Thomas in Dynasty for Jake Ferguson, Quentin Johnston, Scattaboo, a first, a second, and a third. I love Brian Thomas. However, I'd be shocked if you could get this price in most leagues. So
I agree. I want the package.
Take the package, yeah.
I completely agree. Mr. Rager. Who's that? What song is that?
I don't know.
I'm 2-6. Is this worth it? And who would I cut if so? It's Kid Cudi.
Oh.
It's an old one. Chase Brown, Tyler Warren. You are sitting away for Drake May, Ashton Genty, and T.J.
T.J. Hawkinson is useless. I mean, let's be so
quarterback right now. Guess that's the question.
T.J. Hawkinson has little to no value in fantasy right now. He's no different than a streaming waiver wire, so he should not really be considered in this deal.
And who is he getting? So he's sending away who's Chase Brown and who again?
Warren.
Oh, so he's giving up Tyler Warren, and he's getting Drake May. This really is gonna hurt your tight end room here. But like Chase Brown is not starting in your lineup on a week-to-week basis in a 10-team start 8. I can understand why you're getting it. So you're trying to up tier at quarterback.
I don't like it.
What other quarterbacks here? Yeah, I don't like it either. I'd rather
just rock with
Jared
Caleb
Goff
or stream a quarterback.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold against Washington this week.
Yeah, I would rather do those
I don't like
as
this,
well.
Honestly.
Pittman. It says need a running back 2. This guy is close, competing both 6 and 2. Rico and Nico for Judkins and Pittman.
I want Judkins and Pittman.
Judkins and Pittman. I completely agree. That's a big tier up there at the running back position.
Yeah.
Next one, I don't know how to say that. Bosquez, maybe 97, sending away Rico and Woody for Zaza.
Hold on, I gotta refresh.
Okay, yeah. Let me refresh that as well. Then
Rico and Woody for Zay Flowers. Pretty indifferent on this one, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm interested to know what that.
Woody is your RB4. Rico's your RB6. I'm fine with it. I mean, Zay is not really the guy that I'm like thrilled about adding, but I don't know, man. This doesn't feel like the right name.
Excuse me. Rome Lad.
I don't really love this, honestly.
Yeah, what if that was like I'm not in love with it. It's not moving the needle for me. You're just giving him starting running backs for a wide receiver that
Zay's going to have plenty of good games. He's going to have plenty of busts. That's just who he is in fantasy right now in that offense. So you're not like, I would much rather go like and get an Igbuka, sending away Woody and I almost want to say like Genty or something. Well, that's probably too much, but like you can make it a 2 for 2 where it's like Rico and Genty, and then you get back Egbuka and Dobbins or something. That's not too far off.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not terrible.
I don't know, man. I'm not in love with this structure. Look, if he prefers Woody, then you can do Woody and Genty for Egbuka and Dobbins. But if he wants the 2 running backs, then we just structure it differently. And again, it becomes Genty and Dowdle, but you're getting Amon-Ra. Or if Dowdle's not enough, it can be Woody. But I don't love Zay being the reason that you're doing this. One week it'll feel great, the next week it'll feel terrible. Chase says, crazy depth at receiver. Been trying to shop my lower tier ones with no luck. Do I try shopping my top tier ones? Trade is just an example I could send. So, right. Don't really want to get rid of Puka, but I understand. So he has Puka right now. Wow, that is a lot of depth for a start 8. Sure. Yeah. I mean, I guess in this scenario that trade actually does make sense, what he's sending.
Yeah, he has a lot of good wide receivers there. I'm happy to try it.
Yeah, something like this does make a lot of sense. You got to find somewhere that you do upgrade, and I think you're doing that there with tight end or with Patrick Mahomes. I mean, really, you're ideally going to... Yeah, Mahomes is fine. Yeah, if you're going to move Puka, it's got to be like Bijan, Taylor, CMC, Gibbs, but Gibbs you would need more, Has to be one of those names. And then you've got to find a way to upgrade as well. So, like, the guy who has Taylor here, can you do a swap where you get Bijan? Yeah, no, I think that trade that you sent makes a ton of sense. I'm just trying to see if there's another trade that makes sense. Yeah, like Gibbs and Lamar can make sense too. Same type of idea, but I can see why you're doing this. I think that makes a lot of sense, Chase. It's tough to give up on Puka, but you have so much receiver depth. Obviously, I would try and package like your lower tier guys first. Like, I'd try and package like a Tetaroa and a Woody, or a Nico and a Woody, even a Dunze Woody. I'd try that first, but if you can't get it done, I think what you're going for there makes a lot of sense.
Physicality, I think, is next here. Sending away JCM, Ashton Genty for Chase Brown and Jalen Waddle here.
I'm fine with it.
I'm just looking at his team.
I don't know if I want to send Genty away, though. I don't want to undervalue him rest of season.
So he would have Kyron Chase Brown then with Ramondre.
Who's his wide receiver?
Yeah. Then he has Romeo Dobbs, Roma Dunze, excuse me.
See, this is the problem. I don't see why you do this trade.
Yeah. I don't see why you do the trade either. I feel like you have great depth at running back.
Yeah. Look, JCM's been terrible, but Jayden Daniels is back. That's the entire engine of the offense. I really don't think we should underestimate how important Jayden Daniels is to this offense. And JCM's going to have plenty of decent games. And if you're hearing me saying this and you think, my God, this guy's an idiot. Look, you said the same thing when I told you to hold on to Woody Marks after the Ravens fallout. You know what I mean? Like, I know it's hard to hear in the moment, but circumstances do matter in fantasy football. That's what I was trying to explain with the whole Woody Marks stuff when people are going off on me about it. But it's going to be better for him. He's not going to be a league winner, but it's going to be better for him. I just don't think this really accomplishes anything. Like, I'm fine if you want to do it, but I don't think it doesn't change your starting receivers. Maybe it changes your flex. If you want to flex Jalen Waddle instead of your other flex, I don't care. I'm fine with it either way. But you do need to know that Chase Brown is starting to lose some of his work to Samaje Perine, and that's real. That's happening. So I'm not a huge fan of it. Just Josh and starting Drake May, CMC at running back 2. Vidal for me. I would start over Genty this week. At wide receiver, Adunze.
Yeah.
And then at the flex, I'm probably starting Lad.
Yeah.
And if Lad doesn't play for whatever reason, then probably Genty. Okay, I think we're
completely agree.
Almost up to date here on the.
I think we have one more question that came in.
We'll jump over to
Drowsy. Refreshing. 2 more came in. Drowsy and then Lucky. Okay. So says Chuba worth keeping with Dowdle being the lead back. So you're sending Marvin and T for Tyrone.
He's in a format that is 8-team start 8, so probably not. I imagine waiver wires are very deep, so I don't think you really need to.
I don't think you should do that. One lucky Viking.
But this trade, I was answering his first question about Chuba. But
sorry. Trade, I thought I was like, I'm not doing it.
This trade doesn't make much sense, to send Marvin and T for Tyrone. No, that's a bit of an overpay. Like, maybe you send T for Tyrone or Marvin for Tyrone at most, but not both of them. No way. That's an overpay.
I completely agree. One lucky Viking here. Quarterback is Josh Allen. You're starting Jahmyr Gibbs, and then it's going to be Woody Marks at the running back position. Drake London, Ted, Shakira, Warren at the flex is going to be... I guess it's going to be Worthy.
Yeah. Yep. Honestly, what's annoying is there were so many chances for Washington to make it a competitive game, and just everything that could have gone against them did with like the virtual ruler.
I also think the kicker played a huge part. I think you guys would have had at least 6 or 9 points.
Yeah.
And then that game would have been completely different, at least at the second half.
Debo letting the ball hit off his face mask for an interception. So I'm saying that because Worthy having 7 targets in that game is a little bit like that's nice to see, a 7-target game, even though they were dominating. So we'll start him. I think that's all the questions on the site. I think we can go to Super Chats now. Let me double check. But you guys can always submit one there, and we will come back to the site. We'll always prioritize that. Let's see. The latest Super Chat I can see is from... Oh, I can see all of them. Nice. So let's go to Evan.
Evan's next. Yeah, Evan saying, trade London and Daniels for Judkins. My initial thought is no. Our current wide receivers are Mika, Pickens, Jefferson, QJ. Running back is Achan, Vidal, Henderson, Bam.
No, I'd hold Daniels and Judkins. If anything, like Jayden Daniels is being undervalued in the community right now. So I think give him a couple games to show, remind people who he is. I mean, guys, he had 20 points at half versus Dallas. I mean, who knows what he would have done in that game?
Yeah, I completely agree. All right. Daquan is sending away, or says, own CMC and Saquon.
Continue to cuff with Brian Robinson. Up. Yeah, you have to cuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
cuffing season, baby.
The question really here is like, do we think an injury will happen? And anyone who's telling you they know the answer to that is lying to you. So
yeah, this is the time where like, if your handcuff, I mean, from the jump, if your handcuff is available, you should pick him up, and you have space. Because if you have CMC, you're probably a top team, like a playoff team currently. The season we're in today. Yeah. So, anyways, Next one, RGV7 says, I know I sound crazy for debating, but someone offered Bijan and McConkey for JSN. I want to hold on to JSN because he's my stud wide receiver.
I mean, I get that, but
yeah, I think there's a lot of
I'm taking Bijan and McConkey though.
Yeah, you're getting Bijan and JSN are essentially even, and you're getting a free lab McConkey. That's how you have to see that.
Totally. So, unless you have like a stud running back room and you can't fit Bijan in somehow, I struggle to see how this wouldn't improve most people's starting lineups. Like unless you're in like an 8-team league or something, this would improve most people's starting lineup right now. So I like it. I think we have one more. Let's see. Two
more, which is Crown Planet. It says, I got Zay, Sutton, Tet, Pickens, Amon-Ra. Should I package 2 wide receivers to up tier running back or wide receiver,
It's a
or
decent
running back or
running
wide
back room
receiver. My
still.
running backs are CMC and Kyron, 10 team PPR 1 flex. Who should I target?
No, I don't really think you need to, honestly. If you want to, you could, like, let's say Zay and Sutton and Tet are all expendable in your lineup, then you could hypothetically package like Tet and Kyron, Sutton and Kyron, Zay and Kyron, and try and go get like one of the top names, the Bijans, the Gibbs, one of these running backs. But I don't think you need to. It just, if you feel like they're useless and they're not really in your starting lineup ever, there's no problem doing that then at this point of the year.
Yeah, I would agree. Cooper Walters says traded Pickens for Chuba plus 2 seconds. How bad is it?
So it's
Yeah, I
Dynasty
mean,
then.
well, George Pickens is right now. If you traded away George Pickens, he's worth the first right now, and you didn't get that.
Yeah,
If
I
I'm
mean,
reading
we
that
were
correctly.
very pro buying Chuba in the offseason for dynasty contenders, but the price was like a second. So to send away Pickens, honestly, like in the offseason, that didn't seem like a crazy. Who would have thought that Chuba would have been injured and then Dowdle comes in as a backup and ends up looking like LaDainian Tomlinson? I mean, that's right now it looks awful, but in the moment, no one would have known that.
Yeah,
and
no one would have known that.
there's just nothing you can do about it, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
Chuba looked like a great buy in Dynasty this offseason.
It's just unfortunate.
Nah, shit happens. That's the way you got to look at it. Appreciate y'all big time for being here with us. Did we end up reaching our like goal of 100 likes? We are short. Maybe next stream we'll set that goal a little bit lower. We're at 76, so I don't think we're going to get there today. But that's all the questions on the Flock site. That's all the questions, super chats. We'll answer 3 questions at random in the chat, and then we'll call it a day. Appreciate you guys big time. 100%, Mike. 100%. Yeah, look, I don't think it's a foregone conclusion that Rico's going to be the guy rest of the year, but it certainly looks like it right now.
Yeah, I mean, I guess worst case scenario right now is if they extend Rico for some reason, but like I don't see why they would. They have Jonathan Brooks is going to come back next year. I know he's been dealing with injury. We'll see. We'll wait and see.
Okay, let's answer some questions. Justin says, is Pickens plus Igbuka for Jason and Addison's a good trade? That's pretty even, honestly. Yeah. I don't have a strong opinion on that, so we'll take the JSN side if I'm a little bit indifferent. Let's see, that's 1. We said we would do 3. Maybe Funny says JSN and Josh Allen for Dak and Puka. I got Dak and Puka. Did I do okay?
Jason and Josh Allen for Dak and Puka.
If Jason continues on the trajectory that he's on right now, I think that's more of a loss. But
Yeah, I want Jason and Josh Allen. Sorry.
yeah, again, I think it comes down to if Jason can continue on the trajectory he's on right now. But Puka is my number 1 player in fantasy, so I get why you would want to do it. It's just it comes down to if we know Puka is going to continue to be elite, JSN will as well. But at that level, that's the question. Let's do one more from Mike here. RB2, Woody, Kamara, Bam. This would be Bam pretty easily for me against the Cowboys.
Yeah.
All right, one last super chat. We'll end the stream here. Lost Scat, start JCM, Monongai, or Henderson. This would be JCM for me, unless Stevenson misses time.
Look, Stevenson misses time, I'll go Henderson. But
it's bleak, and honestly, the Seahawks defense is pretty good against the run. But at the same time, if Jayden Daniels is there, he's the ultimate equalizer. Jayden Daniels can keep you in a game. So yeah, that's where I stand.
Yeah.
All right.
Appreciate you guys.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you. And we'll be live tomorrow before the game, so make sure you get your questions in on the site. And yeah, we'll see you guys then. Nothing but love.
Love.